Okay, so this is the process I'm going through to replace these panels. I'm on this site, and there are, I think it's about 600 panels or so. But anyway, about 15 of them are broken, and they're wired in pairs. So here's a broken one. You can see it's shattered. And this one, not sure why, there's probably a burn spot on the back. But anyhow, the process is to remove this panel. But what I also have to do is remove another panel, because you have to wire them in pairs. So I take a bad panel and I take its pair, its other panel, and I move this one to another spot with a broken panel, and there happens to be one up there. So then I'll have a blank space of 2 panels here, and then I take 2 brand new panels and put them down there. Because of the way they're wired, they have to be changed out in pairs. So that's the process. And in order to do that, first I have to undo the wires. That's easy. Each of them have these bolts, which I've just undone. So then you lift up the panel, you undo those bolts there, and then you have to take these bits off of them, because I'm going to reuse them. And then I have to do the same thing with that one. Take that pair off. Don't have to take the hardware off though. So take that one off and relocate it to where I found another one. So I keep developing these holes where I have one broken panel that I replace with another panel from the site, and then I take 2 new panels and put them into a spot with a hole for 2. So anyhow, that's the beginning part of this process. Kind of hard to do one-handed, but taking off these bolts. No one part of this is particularly difficult, but it just takes a long time. Okay, and here's the next part. Hopefully I'll be able to speed this up on the video. But so I'm carrying this panel. It's about 50 or 60 pounds. But this is where I have to take them. Okay, now I've got that there, and I grab a new panel, and then I have to take these rails and attach them to the old racking, because the new panels don't fit on the racking. Okay, then I have to cut these rails, because since the panels don't fit on the existing rack, I have to cut lengths of rail to sort of adapt the racking. Okay, now I already have some of these cut. Then I have to drill holes in them to accept the bolts that were there previously. Do that a bunch of times. Okay, so now I walk back over here to where I've got the panel holes. Here's a broken one. I just put it here for a minute. Part of my strategy is to never walk back and forth without carrying something, preferably a panel. Because if you have to make so many trips, any trip that you're not carrying something is kind of a wasted trip. So here's a hole. I've got 2 panels missing there. So I need to put these rails in there. Never walk on a panel. Okay. So I'm going to put one across here. One more here. One here. And this one here. These will go for a different one because we've got, I think, 15 to do like this. Okay, now these have these little lips on them here, these little pieces. You can see they hold the panel, but my panels are bigger than that, so I can't just use those. So the way I adapt them is I put this rail across them, but can't do it just like that because then you got this big problem with that lip there. So first thing I do is I cut off this lip with a Sawzall, and then I through bolt this up into the hole that I drilled, and then I can mount the panel with a couple of end clamps. So next thing is grab the saw and cut that lip off. Okay, now I'm walking back to get the saw, but like I said, never walk back empty-handed. So here's a panel. Actually, here's 2 panels. Let me grab one, and I'll carry this back. Let's see if I can do it here. Kind of hoist it over my shoulder. Got the crackling glass here. The reason I put them here is because this is the lifting site when they bring them up, and when we take them down, it's going to be right here. So, okay, now I need to grab the Sawzall and bring that over there. Okay. Oh shoot, I didn't get my hearing protection, but I'll show you one of these. Get your foot on it. Oops. Alright, now it's flat. I can set a rail on here nicely and not have to worry about that piece. So do that 1, 2, 7 more times, and I'll be able to put the rails on for these 2 panels. Okay, so now I've installed these rails. Get a little bolt there, across there, and each panel sits on the 2 rails, and it adapts it. The panels are big enough that, well, you can see one here compared to the original. They're a little wider and a little shorter, so the original racking didn't work. The other thing I like to do on this job is always face this direction in the morning. So every time I'm putting a rail down, I do this one, then that one, I face it that way because it's 100 degrees too. So it's a hot day here, and it's nice not to face the sun. Okay, then we've got these clamps that slot into the rails. So going to be one there and one at each end, and that holds the panels down. So they give you a box, and you have to put them all together. Okay, there's 2 panels installed, and they both go to the same optimizer, so that's what you need to replace them in pairs. Then I got to find my next one. I've already got a panel stage down there. Oh, and right down there as well is a space for 2 of them. So let me move all my stuff over there, get some more rails on that and do it again. Okay, I got these ones sitting here now. I'm going to tighten up the clamps. I'll do the bottoms. I already touched the wires and these will be done. Alright, so the owner had this Kona ice truck coming for the employees today, so he invited me to come get one, so why not? Mockingbird. Alright, so finished. There were 16 panels. I got 2 left over, which was the plan. And I just got them stored up here. And all the rest of them are in. There's a couple over there. They're just all spread out throughout this whole place. So it's over 100 degrees right now. And I'm very tired and hot, but I'm going to go downstairs and get some Gatorade and make my way home. Still a little bit of snow up on the peaks back there, but not here. Anyhow, I'd still rather be doing this than going to some conference in Cleveland or something. So anyway, glad it's over, but glad to have done it. Okay, this is the part of the operation here. All these inverters. We got 6 and what, 6, 4 more, 5 more. So I turned them all off to do the work, but I just turned it back on, so I'm waiting for them to fire up, and then I can start doing the optimizer search. But I still have to replace this one, but all the rest of them are good. Each of them is 20 kilowatts, so there's 220 kilowatts of AC here, so it's a pretty good school system.